Hey everyone, this is a quick tutorial on how to set up restaurants in Planet Zoo, so let's get started. So we're actually in one of my parks, which is Edinburgh Zoo, and I want to make this penguin's calf into a restaurant. So first we are going to grab ourselves a restaurant block. So if you go to facilities and then guest facilities, and then we need this restaurant. So this is going to put you back at roughly about 15k, so I'm quite happy for it just to sit there. And then what I want to do is obviously put a path to this. Now what we need to do is actually link some tables. So I'm just going to pop the game on pause for a minute, and we're going to click into our restaurant here, and it says no link tables. So you want to go to your second tab here and click on place tables. You do come up with two options here. So you can have a diner style table, and again we can just pop them down wherever we want. And we also do have this style of table as well. Now you'll notice at the front here that I have these just normal guest benches. And what you do is when you click into your building here, again go onto the second tab and you want to link tables. So if I press link tables, what it's going to do is you need to highlight the ones that you want to link. So if you press into it, it will turn green. Hold down shift and then you can select the other ones, and you can see here that I'll add to that table. Now if you go to our front here, because these are not linked to restaurants, we can't click these ones here. So if you want your guests to sit on the tables, then you have to use these ones. So if you just confirm your links up there, which is fine, and then say if you decided actually don't want these ones at the front here because I want our guests to come here and use those tables. So again, we can just click into our restaurant there, and then I'm just pressing Ctrl D to duplicate it, and I'm just going to raise it up by holding shift, and then I'm going to pop a couple of these just out on the front deck in there so our guests can dine outside as well. Now when we click back into our restaurant here and we go to the second tab, you'll see that they ones have not actually been linked. So again, you want to go into your linked tables. The ones that are green are linked, but the ones that are blue aren't. So again, if you press shift and click on your tables there, and then just confirm that. So that is our restaurant essentially set up. It's nice, easy and simple. So if we just go to play our game here, what is going to happen is hopefully our guests are going to come up here and go to the restaurant. It might take a little bit of time, so bear with me. Okay, so here is our first family that are heading to our penguin restaurant. So you'll see that they'll come to the front ticket booth, probably place their order there. And then when they're all happy, they basically come to the back of the restaurant and go through this little TARDIS here. Now we're just going to follow them to see which seat that they get selected. And there we go, they're actually outside. So they went through the little black box there and have landed up here. So it's really down to kind of potluck which seat that they'll be given. Like I said, none of these chairs or benches are actually on a path. So if I was to remove this here, you can see that there is nothing underneath there. It is basically floating in midair. One thing to keep in mind that a restaurant needs tables for guests to eat at. Only restaurants within a 30 metre of the facility and not in a dangerous habitat can be linked. So if you go to link tables here and try to link these, it will say not within 30 metres. So that is just something to bear in mind. So you might be wondering, what is 30 metre radius? So I've went away and put a solar panel on here which stretches out to 40 metres. So if we go to our heat map and we kind of scroll up a little bit, you can see that that's the radius of 40 metres. So if you kind of just shave that off a little bit, you know that roughly about in this area you should be okay to put down one of your benches and your guests should be able to go to it. So just bear in mind these are 40 metres, but it has to be in a 30 metre radius, and again the table has to be placed in an area which is not in a dangerous habitat. So a massive benefit of having guests in restaurants is they will never have rubbish on them. So if you put down kiosk boxes, your guests will go to the kiosk, order their food, and then they will have that in their hands. If you don't have a bin close by, potentially they'll keep it on them, walk a little bit, and if they can't find a bin nearby, then they'll drop the rubbish. This is a massive benefit to restaurants because when they leave their tables, they will have nothing on them. So you can easily have loads of these scattered about and you will never have to have a caretaker cleaning up after your guests, which is a massive bonus. So if you are working in franchise, I would heavily recommend having lots of restaurants in your parks and zoos and not put down the single kiosks. So the two things I would keep in mind is your guest happiness and your scenery rating. So guest happiness currently is at 100%. I would recommend putting down a toilet facility very close to your restaurant because guests will come in here, eat their food, and then when they leave will definitely need to visit the bathroom. So if you have one of these close by, will definitely help out your guest happiness. Also, scenery rating, I would definitely recommend popping down some kind of scenery around it, just because this box is a little bit ugly and it's just something that makes it look a lot better. So I'm going to pop a roof on this and I will see you guys in the next one. So until then, take care.